咁就各位馬迷就大家好啊！咁今日咧，我哋初三博殺組同埋初三少年論馬咧，咁今次好榮幸邀請到咧，咁就練馬師啦，咁黎超昇做呢個訪問嘅。咁呢位咧年僅33歲嘅紐西蘭練馬師，上一季喺香港開倉咧，第一季就已經贏到35場嘅頭馬啦。咁今次啦，咁我咧同阿 KEN 咁同埋導演都會一齊訪問下黎超昇嘅。So hi everyone, welcome back to our channel. Today we are honored to have trainer Mr. Jamie Richards with us for an interview. Thank you very much, Mr. Jamie. 咁第一題我就會問啦，咁開倉至今啦，咁黎超昇咧上一季就喺香港開倉嘛，咁而家咧開到依家啦，咁今季第二季就會喺香港重演啦。咁你最深刻頭馬係邊一匹咧？So the first question is, which winning horses do you think has been the most remarkable in your time in Hong Kong so far?
I think horses like Sixth Generation and Flying on the Turf Seasons, with those sorts of horses that were able to put 3 or 4 wins together, were a big help to the stable. We were quite fortunate. We had a few horses get the PP bonus, which is a big help. Keeps a bit of money in the owners' pockets. Sinbar, Magniac, Alacrity, they all got the PP bonus, so that they were important horses for the stable as well. But I think on the whole, probably was most satisfying to see some of the horses like Sixth Generation raise their rating quite significantly, and continue to race consistently throughout the season.
Okay, and I'm KEN. So I want to ask you, what's your goal for the season? 你嘅目標係啲咩咧
？The goals for the season, I think, just to continue to improve, continue to train winners. Hopefully we can, train more winners than we trained last season. It's hard to put an exact number on it, but I'm hoping that we can work our way up the premiership a little bit further. We've got some nice horses here this season, and the stable's getting pretty full now. So I think in terms of numbers, I'd like to try and get to sort of 45 if we could, which would be 10 more than last year. I think that is hopefully achievable. And hopefully we might be able to have some horses that are racing in some better class of races. We were basically class 3, class 4, class 5 last season. Hopefully we can have some horses that might be able to perform in the higher grades, which, that would be quite satisfying.
Oh, thank you. Hope you can win the Group 1 race.
Not easy.
咁就第三題咯，咁就大家都知道啦，咁就都上季尾亦都公布咗啦，咁就大家知道徐宇石就6月1號嘅從化散咗倉，咁就大家都知道呢個消息之外咧，咁亦都有2位嘅練馬師亦都係從化開倉啦，咁分別就係黎超昇同埋伍彭志啊，咁就嗱我哋都會問下佢啦，咁佢隨住6月1號喺從化嗰度開咗倉，即係兩地喺沙田從化都開咗倉之後咧，同埋咧咁就上季亦都係大家都知道啦，福日亦都係正式加入咗馬房喎。咁而對你嚟講咧，係咪增加咗個信心贏係嘛？甚至咧可以贏到個 Group 1嗰啲一級賽咧 ？As the training in Chongqing Race got started in June, together with the adaptation of Wellington to your stable, how confident are you in winning the coming race or even the Group 1 races?
I think it's going to be very difficult for Wellington this season. Lucky Swainess is the next superstar of Hong Kong racing. I think he's getting to an age now where he's fully mature, and he will be very hard to beat through the sprinting series. Obviously Wellington won the international sprint last year when Lucky Swainess had a little bit of bad luck, so that we'll be trying to do our best with Wellington. He's not getting any younger, but we're hopeful that a little change of scenery might spark him up, and hopefully we can see him hold his form like he did last year. But Lucky Swainess is going to be awfully hard to beat. But looking forward to the challenge of preparing him for the new season. It's a privilege to have a horse of his quality in the stable, and hopefully he can race consistently again this season.
Okay, thank you. So 我想問嘅問題係喺你嘅倉入邊有咩看好嘅潛力分子咧 ？Which horse or horses do you think has potential in your stable?
We've got some nice young PPG horses arriving at the moment. We've got a horse by Trapeze Artist that's getting out tomorrow. His brand number is going to be J069. He hasn't got a name yet, but he will be one to hopefully look out for. We quite like him. We've got a young PP horse here called Mar Comet that I quite like. He's by Capitalist. He reminds me a little bit of Season's Wit, so hopefully he can do a good job this season. He looks to be quite a fast horse. And I'm hopeful that horses like Romantic Lao, I'm hoping he can continue to step up this season. And I'm hoping a horse like Casa Cosmo, now that he's had a season's racing under his belt, and he's toughened up a little bit, I'm hoping that he can get through and you know, continue to raise his rating this season. He's got down to 60, so he'd be the top of 4, but hopefully he can work his way back up into 3. He was a little bit soft and a little bit immature last year, but hopefully he can continue to improve for this season coming. But we've got some nice horses around us, and certainly think the quality inside of the stable, in terms of the horse flesh, is a lot higher than it was this time last year. So hopefully those horses continue to step up and do a good job for the stable and represent us well.
Okay, thank you.
好啦，咁就第5題咧，咁就Gary 咧，因為咧今次就因為冇時間做到個訪問啦，咁我亦都會同Gary 問下嘅。咁第1題Gary會就會問下啦，咁你就認為咧喺香港同埋紐西蘭訓練馬匹最大唔同之處係啲乜嘢？The question 5 is about what is the difference between training horses in Hong Kong and training horses in New Zealand?
I think probably the biggest difference between New Zealand and Hong Kong is that you know, the horses don't really get a chance to get out in the paddock up here. Obviously we've got the spelling paddocks up at Chong Fa, but it's not like spelling in a paddock with 4 or 5 other horses in a big you know, big paddock like you would in New Zealand or Australia. They're in work all of the time. The tracks are firm, and the racing is very fast. The time that it takes to run 1,200 meters in Hong Kong is significantly faster than it takes to run 1,200 meters in New Zealand. So that the pace of the races is very strong, and that's something that the horses take a little while to get used to. And we also train them quite differently. We swim them a lot here. We don't work them very hard in the mornings because of the humidity and the firmness of the tracks and all of those sort of combined factors. So it's taken a little while to adjust, but I've got a pretty good idea of how I sort of want to try and do it now. So hopefully we'll be a better trainer than we were last season, and hopefully we've got some nice horses around us that will represent us well, as I said in the last question. So we're looking forward to seeing how the new season goes for us.
咁至於第6題咧 ，OK， 咁第6題 Gary 亦都有咗問題啦，咁佢就問啦，咁就大家知道黎超升咧上季咧，咁佢就喺9月份都會派馬上陣啦，咁佢直至到即係佢都係讓賽，佢去到10月就正式派馬上陣，咁就問下啦，嗱，咁你喺10月份咧就取得在香港首場頭馬啦，咁當時馬季其實已經開始咗超過1個月啦，咁就請問一下咧，你係點樣應付當時嘅壓力咧？ So the question 6 is about you got your first winner in October, which is 1 month after season opening. How do you deal with pressure during that period?
Last year I wasn't really sure how to train the horses properly, and I didn't want to sort of take the horses to the races until I felt like I understood it a little bit better. But as I said in the last question, I think I've got my head around it now. And also last season we couldn't start training until the end of the season, until after the break, whereas this coming season we've been able to keep the horses in training from last season, and there's some horses that we've sort of held back that are hopefully ready to start off the new season well. So I'm hoping that we can get a couple of winners in September, and open the season up in good form. But the horses will continue to improve throughout the season, particularly the new horses. Dealing with the pressure, obviously there was sort of things said in the local media that we'd been a bit of a slow starter, but that was more just due to a lack of understanding of of how to train the horses here rather than sort of being scared to do it or feeling any pressure. So as I say, I hope we can start the new season a lot faster this year.
咁今日好多謝黎超星先生咧，咁就接受我哋初三博殺組嗰個初三少年論馬聯合一齊嘅即係訪問啊黎超星啦。咁就我哋都預祝黎超星咧新一季咧咁就繼續贏多啲頭馬，咁就甚至可以贏到場 good win 啊，因為我嗰隻愛區福日喺嗰度，咁我都希望咧黎超星新一季咧就係事事順利啦。
Hope you can have a good result and win a G1 next seasons. So thank you for your interview.
Thank you very much.